That's the team that plays to win for you and me.
Welcome back, Shimboners. Big Chief here. Favourite time of the year, if we're not winning premierships, which we haven't been for a while, in the men's space anyway. It's trade preview time. Got a big pod. We'll look at the trade preview, our list needs, likely targets. We'll discuss the fixture because that's dropped since our last pod. And we'll have a quick preview on the reigning, defending, undefeated champion girls in the AFLW world. Welcome, Baz. It's your pod, but I'm taking over today.
Well, this is your time of year. This is where you really get fired up. And to be transparent with our loyal listeners from the start, I probably haven't followed the draft as closely as previous years due to us trading away our first rounder. Obviously, it's been documented plenty enough. You don't need me waffling on about the Whitlock trade. So, yeah, I sort of lost interest in it a little bit, but I've had a look at it the last week, particularly with some rumours circulating from Cow Toomey about us potentially moving back into the first round, which I'm sure you'll touch on.
Yes, and if they're not top 10 picks, you're not interested.
No.
Have you heard of Boomer Harvey?
Yes.
Have you heard of Nick Larkey? There's some gems later.
Big Tristan Sherry.
I was about to get to my man, the ex.
No, I still have an interest, but I'm saying in previous years, I'll start looking at it about May because we're about 1 and 6 by then.
Well, exactly. Oh, 1. Oh, that's generous.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get very excited by about round 6 normally, but
I was just being transparent that I haven't followed it as closely, so you'll have more of a... You'll feature more heavily in that segment when we touch on it because it's your baby.
I just read about it. I just follow the Cow Toomey's the number one man, but there's a lot of draft stuff out there you can find, and I love reading it all to see who we're going to get. And it's not quite as exciting as we haven't got the top pick, but we'll discuss. So that pick's it's going to look a lot better. That pick swap.
Before I let you get into your detailed discussion around the draft, just to paint a picture for previous draft nights for our listeners out there, the Big Chief, generally 3 or 4 different phantom drafts you'll print out and cross them off as they get drafted.
I try and predict every pick coming through, and obviously top 10 you normally go pretty well, but after that it can get a bit rogue. And I think this year is going to be even harder. One, because there's a lot of academy bids and you're not quite sure when they're going to come, and father-son for Harry Dean, who's late news bolting up to possibly a pick 2 bid, which is why they're likely to trade with us and Essendon, the filth. Where else was it going? Can't remember.
Draft.
But yeah, so and there's multiple clubs with back-to-back choices. There's 4 of them. They've almost locked out the top 10. So
it's a heavily compromised draft.
Well, it will be locked out when the bids come in. No other club. There'll only be the academy father-son clubs and the 4 who have got the multiple back-to-back bids. Anyway, so the latest news is Brady working diligently behind the scenes.
He's alive. I wanted to check on his welfare after the trade period.
Is going to do a pick swap, which the guts of it will be our first pick in night 2 or round 2, which will be pick 25, I think, as it stands. And a future second, which hopefully will be, because there's going to be more father-sons and there will always be academies next year, so hopefully that'll be a late 20s pick. And, of course, pick 11 will slide probably to about pick 16. And who do we target? Well, I had a quick look over our list. And we've studied it in form all year, to be fair. But I think we need a key forward. Like a second key forward, a proper one. Like Trembath's came on 3 games, small sample size. I still think his size is only a third, and he's obviously completely unproven for consistency. And I think we need 196 plus.
Well, the word, I don't know whether you're aware of this, but word out of the club is that Matt Whitlock's doing the pre-season as a key forward.
Yeah, right. Well, that ticks that box in. Obviously, if this deal comes through, it'll happen on draft night when the bid comes for Harry Dean, likely at pick 2 from West Coast, and then they'll need the points, so they'll do the live trade there to get the points, because otherwise their 2 picks, 9, 11, be completely wiped. And And we've obviously, I mean, Brady's hinted before that we're looking to trade up. There's got to be a target, and I think that pick 11, you'll get a couple of choices. One, if we want to go the tall, could be Aidan Schubert. He's probably gone before then, but would be in the range. Could be a possibility. He's 197 centimetre. He's the best key forward in it. His birthday, and this is what I like. This is a micro detail. He's still only 17, like 21st of December. So a bit like Big Shotgun Dawson. A lot of development, especially being a key. He's played as an underage compared to the rest of the draft.
Ben
class.
Mackay was the same, wasn't he? From
He
memory?
was.
I don't know why that came into my head when
No.
you said that, but big buckets.
Yeah, so he's the best key forward in it. He's from South Australia, so hopefully he doesn't get homesick if we get him. But the one I reckon, what else do we need? The other list needs, I think we need, is a winger, like a proper winger, not someone who is forced to play wing. Because you look at our wingers, we've got Jai Simpkin, who, a small sample size, but was really good on the wing, and we've been pounding on about putting him to the wing because we've got too many midfielders. Dill Stevens, up and down his form, where you get the best version of him or the worst version of him. So he's still very much a work in progress.
I think he was better this year.
Yeah, but for patches, other patches, like early in the year he was a sub, then he was dropped, then he came in. He's not proven yet. You got to do it for 2 years to be proven. He hasn't done that for mine. Dare I mention Bailey Scott, who sort of had proven himself to be a reasonable AFL winger and just fell off the cliff. And I think maybe Finn Sullivan can move there. But look at our AFLW program. We've got 3 elite wingers, and we haven't got that in the VFL program. So I think we can target a winger, and there's a couple of good ones.
The AFL program, you mean?
Yeah. We've got it in the W. We haven't got it in the AFL. And you need 3 wingers, especially with 5 on the bench now. It's probably the hardest role. You've got to hold your width. You've got to keep an eye on your opponent. You've got to work forward and back all day, sometimes unrewarded because the ball's stuck on the other side. And as I said, you've got to hold your width. So I think that's why we need a winger who's played wing through his juniors, not a midfielder or a half back or half forward who's then you got to find somewhere to play, go and play on the wing. You with me?
I'm with you.
All
Braden
right.
George, one to watch for the wing as well.
Well, yeah, but he's a forward who they're trying to find a spot for. And look, let's hope it. I don't mind them trying, but what I'm saying is let's target one proper winger. Right, the next list, and this is going to probably make you laugh. Oh, we've got the key back. We need another key back because we've got a lot on the list. However, there's only Chom, who's a lock in our next final side for mine, and you've got probably Cal Dawson. Will Dawson. Cal Dawson's gone. Will Dawson. And then you got Logue, Core, all the watch list regulars. Pink, who's very much a tryer, but he's undersized. So I think we need another key back. And then, so this is the one that will probably make you laugh. I think we need a small forward. But we need a classy goal-kicking small forward. And there's one right in our range, which I think is the target.
And that man is Lockie Doverston.
Yes, kicked over 50 goals this year in all his club and school footy and everything. Is Watson 2.0.
They've compared him. They have compared him to Nick Watson, and Cow Toomey put out a piece today saying that he's the one they reckon North will target at that pick as well.
Yeah, and he's normally on the money, and his Phantom draft comes out tonight. So
you'll be sitting by the phone.
Well, not by the phone. Well, you think he rings me first just to run it by me?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. But I'll be on the AFL website waiting for that to drop and have a look and going straight to who he thinks we'll get. And I reckon it'll be Doverston. And we've got so many small forwards in our system. We've got Casanti, who's incumbent. We've got Harvey, Banch, Stevens, Hanson Jr. We've brought in Spargo, but they're all different. And I wouldn't say any of them are a Class A small forward.
No.
Goal kicking. They've all got different attributes. They all play differently. But this bloke is a proper goal kicking, crumbing, small forward who can get up and back. His work rate apparently is through the roof, up and back. Can link up.
So if you look at our small forwards, the knock on most of them is they don't kick goals. And then you've got Cooper Harvey who does kick goals, but there's big knocks on his pressure and ability to get up and back, as you just mentioned. So
Yeah, and
although we've got quantity of small forwards, there's not a great deal of quality. Although my man, newly inducted into Bazza Swaggerman, Banger Bench,
yeah.
I want to say a bit more of him.
And apart from Spargo, what have they all got in common? Those I went through that are already on our list.
We're all out of contract.
Well done. Gold star to you. They're all out of contract at the end of the year. So even though we've got a lot of them now, come 2027, we won't have as many. And this bloke, if he's as good as the Wizard, we're getting him in a better. Like I wouldn't have paid pick 3 or 4 for Wizard when in his draft, but picking the teens, that's worth it. And he could be a 10-year small forward for us and just fix that problem in one draft.
So he's 178 centimetres, so he's taller than the Wizard as well.
Yes. Yeah. He's another one. This draft's so weird because some have him in the top 10 early or throughout the year, and others have had him in the 20s, mid-20s. So it's just beauty's in the eye of the beholder for this draft, especially once you get outside that top 10 range.
Right, so I reckon there'd be a portion of our listeners going no to the small forward.
Yep.
But obviously you mentioned the key backs and how much we do need that, and a lot of supporters and listeners of this pod have reached out sort of saying, oh, who's in that range and who might we be looking at? So who do you think, if we were to draft, if we move up to Carlton's pick 11 as it stands now, which you said will slide, who do you think would be the sort of player in that target range as a key defender?
Well, the second best key defender is another South Australian, because they did win the Carnival, so I suppose they've got a fair few of the best players, is Threadgold. He's a 194 centimetre, so the same height as Tobias Pink. Probably not quite the monster, but he's very good one-on-one. And is very competitive. We know that's almost attribute 1 for me, being competitive. He's a funny range because another one. He's in some of the mock drafts or when they analyse the players, he's in the 30s, late 20s, 30s, and others have him going before he gets to what are currently our picks in the 20s, or they reckon he won't get past us at 25, 26, which we currently hold. I reckon Geelong and Fremantle will probably snap him up. So it's a decision, but I don't know if they're trading up to get him. I don't know. I wouldn't mind if we got him, but I'd rather him slide through and we get him in with our second pick.
The one I really like out of the draft and another key position player is Archie Ludwig. I hope I've said that correctly, but he's another one who's hard to sort of pinpoint where his draft position will be. Born in November as well, so I
like the young, especially when they're tall, because you're playing against kids that are almost a year older than you all year. And
he's a left footer.
He is a left footer, so Clarko's got him circled. But
he's a key forward, so I don't know if I mentioned that.
Yeah, he's a key forward. You said his height, didn't you? I think he's 197, so a proper size. I think he will risk him going through to our second pick. So I think that especially if we take the small in Doverston, we'll take him if he's still available, which he's probably more likely than not likely to be still available at our second pick, which will be a first pick of night 2.
Which will be interesting because we know historically clubs come hard if there's someone they like with that first pick. They get to the night to sort of see who's left and think about it, and there could be some offers worth considering.
Oh, there will be, I reckon, especially this draft when, as I've said, it's outside the top 10 club. There's a massive range from like 11 to 35, 40 probably. Where clubs rank different players a lot higher than others, so it could be we could get a bit of extra back if we do the trade, but there could be someone there we're very keen on, and we'll just know when to hold them.
Who else do you reckon...
know when to walk away and know when to run.
Who else do you like from the draft in that sort of range?
Okay, who else? Well, there's Harley Barker, who's a winger. You know, I mentioned a proper winger, 188 centimetres, so quite tall. Another South Australian, so we've got to make sure the ice baths are right at the right temperature if we get all these South Australian lads in.
Tommy Powell sort them out.
Yeah, Tommy Powell look after him. Good point. He had a great carnival for South Australia. He did his ACL, so he probably won't play much, not to the back end of next year. And, North have a history of taking people who are injured. Probably the most famous, Sausage George. Flynn Perez was coming off a knee and a soccer background. I don't know if Will Walker was injured, but he had a soccer background as well. I'm just going through all the draft nightmares at the moment because we don't always have hits.
Oh, I'll tell you what, we don't always have hits.
Anyway, I think he'd be a good mix, and he may slip through. It's probably more likely he's gone, but he could. Someone's going to slip through, and we'll have to pounce. Who's the other one? I can't think of it. Lewis, I think. Lewis Emmett. I didn't write his first name down, but he's a forward ruck, 199 centimetre. He's rated the second best behind CDT, who will go at pick 2 or 3.
Cooper Duff Tyler, for those who might not be fully across the draft.
Yeah. And he actually played on him in the wildcard round, which is something else I don't think we've discussed on this pod. But the under-18s wildcard round did quite well against him. And this is the thing that stands out. 6 minutes, 7 seconds for the 2K time trial. That'd probably put him on the podium at North if he rocked up round one, day one of pre-season.
Yeah.
That was...
If you get past Griff Logue, because he seems to hold a lot of them back.
He's not running the full distance. I don't know. But that was third overall. So for a forward ruck, that's good. And he models his game on Luke Jackson when he's in the ruck. So the follow-up work, no one's getting the follow-up work of my man, Big X. He's not a bruiser. And Jeremy Cameron, who, as we know, works up and down when he's resting forward. And with that tank, he can probably do that. So that's obviously best case scenario. So I think we'd probably have a look at him because he would be an ideal replacement for the man with a lot of promise but no delivery, CCJ.
Yeah, and Jacob Farrow.
Who's also on a 1 year remaining on his deal, 1 year deal. CCJ. So if we did get him, it might be goodbye.
Tell us a little bit about Jacob Farrow.
I think he'll go before our first pick. If we do the trade with Carlton, we're all relying on that, which slides through to about pick 16 after academy bids. But he's a 188 centimetre left footer, Clarko. He's a midfielder, but he'll probably play like at under 18 level. But he can play halfback and wing, so probably more the halfback, which is something else I think we could use. Another halfback user.
Well, I think supporters will go nuts if we draft the midfielder.
I think he'd be more halfback. But
still, we've got Josh Goda that we're relying on. Riley Hardiman came on last year.
Yeah, all right.
I think, how are we going to fit all these mids in? We want to get Colby in the guts. We want to get Foss in there. I just think...
We go in the back line if Colby came out.
Yeah,
I hear what you're saying.
We've for far too long ignored drafting for need.
Well, you're going to love this.
Right, who have you got next?
I've got unlikely sliders. Well, I had Farrow in that, so I don't think he'll get to us. He'll be picked up before. I've got Xavier Taylor, 192 centimetre, intercepting hard out at halfback. Not a midfielder, halfback. And you'll love this. He plays with a bit of swagger. And if you look at his photo, he's got a bit of swagger about him just in his draft photo. Anyway, I don't think they'll get through. But if they did, I would pounce, especially on Taylor. I think he's a Goda, Mark II. And Goda, unfortunately, as we all know, we're just waiting for him to be physically ready to play.
Yeah, and we do need someone of that size off half-back.
Well, so third tall. He can play on smalls, he can play on talls.
Is he a good kick? Does he have some burst?
Oh, I don't know enough about him for that. Let's just say yes. We'll wait and see. But he's rated top 10. He'll be lucky. He won't get beyond 12 or 13, I don't reckon, so he won't get to us. Right. I think that's covered everyone that we're looking at. Pick 26. So this is if we've done the trade. We've got probably Dovison. That's where our money is.
Is that what you're saying? You
think? I reckon we'll go for him. I reckon we're moving up for a specific type, and it's either him or Aiden Schubert. I reckon they're the two that we'll take. If they're both not available, I mean, someone else has slid through, maybe a Farrow, and everyone can say we've got to draft another midfielder.
Yeah, and I'll be ranting on this pod.
Or maybe we trade it. Oh yeah, we won't trade out. Anyway, pick 26. So, night 2, this will be the first pick. It's got a little bit of gold on it if we don't trade it away. And the reason it'll be pick 1 of night 2 is all the other picks will be eaten up, even if Essendon do the deal with Carlton. And because I think Essendon got a pick in front of us around that range.
Oh, I'm not sure off the top of my head.
I'm not sure off the top of my head either. But if they trade with Carlton, then that'll be eaten up by the Harry Dean bid or points required. Well, I had Emmett as a ruck forward. We've already discussed him. I would suggest he will be available, but I reckon we'll probably go for Archie Ludwig if he's available.
Well, the supporters will be very glad to secure a key forward on night 2, I reckon, if he was to slide
The only
through.
smoky would be the winger Harley Barker. I think one of those, we've already discussed them in detail, but one of those will slide through, and that's who we'll pick. And also you got Threadbowl Gold that we discussed as well. So one of those 4 should get through, and we'll snaffle them.
Fingers crossed. Let us know.
And I reckon it'll be Ludwig.
Let us know in the comments who you want to see us draft and what position, and leave your comments. We love reading them.
If you think there's other list needs that we haven't gone through.
Yeah. Right, let's get into the fixture, which was released.
Hang on, I've got third pick.
I don't think anyone wants to hear your predictions and gives a crap about your pick 55.
Who do we go through? X. Big X.
Oh, all right. Quickly then.
Boomer Harvey. Still the game's record holder.
Don't start me on that.
I won't. All right, that'll be for maybe next year's pod. All right, it's a real guessing game, but we could look at Riley Onley. He's a 195 centimetre midfielder.
All right.
So a beast. The pros, size and speed. He's got good speed. You can get from inside to outside at that size. He's got clean hands. The cons, and I don't like this, is competitiveness. Apparently, can't use his body as well as he should.
You can't be built like Tarzan, play like Jane, put a line through him.
Okay, but
I've seen enough. I've heard enough already.
You know who was like him last year? A lot of North supporters were.
Josh Smiley.
Yeah, he was exactly the same. Big body, not competitive. But there you go. And his defensive side and his kicking. So if he's a poor kick, he'll fit straight into the North midfield. But you've got to remember, these are only kids, 17, 18-year-olds. So, and they've got analysts going over everything they do with a fine-tooth comb. So just remember that. Another one's Matt Leray, and he's the other winger from the champion South Australian team. 188 centimetres, so same as Harley Barker. And you'll like this. He was a leg spinner.
Oh, he'll be fit into the indoor cricket then at the
Leg
club.
spinner for South Australia. He was captain of the South Australian cricket team, so he obviously must have some leadership skills. But for those at home, they're good baz. Just picked up poles for fun bowling your leg spin school cricket, didn't you? And club cricket.
They're off spin, but yes.
Oh, you were too. That's not real spin, Morning. Maybe I was looking at your wrong'uns.
Yeah, you must have been.
It was off spin. Gee, how did I forget that? Anyway, that's it. So a couple of roughies. Now we'll move on to the fixture.
Yeah, so we saw it released during the week. With first impressions, really happy, and it's been rated as the softest draw. But of course, we've still got a win. So the double ups, who we played twice, is Port Adelaide, West Coast, Essendon, Richmond, out of the bottom 4.
I think they are your bottom 4 for next year. I mean, that could not be more of a dream double up.
We've got Sydney twice, who missed the 8, but,
Yeah, so they're from the bracket from 6 to 12.
Yeah.
So we've done, that's probably, we can't have everything go our way, but they should be a finalist, as in a proper finalist, a top 8 team next year with the addition of Curnow.
And they're a side who historically, in the last 5 or 10 years, we've been absolutely horrific against. So
Yes.
it's time to win against them. And then Geelong as the side from the top 6 as a double up, who have looked like falling off a cliff for about 10, 15 years now.
And they haven't. And I was thinking about them today. They've only improved their team by, they got Warple.
Who's not a world beater.
Not a world beater, but he helps them a bit to free up the, what do they call them? The Dash brothers. Smith and
who cares?
Nosebeers and Max Holmes.
Right,
Anyway, so I'm waiting for them to fall off a cliff too. So hopefully we can pinch one of them. Probably won't be the one at GmbH
Alphabet Stadium. No, it won't be. But the first 6 weeks is imperative, and that's going to make or break our season, because I posted on socials the other day that realistically we should be aiming to be 5-1 or 4-2 after the first 6 weeks. So we've got Port Adelaide in round 1.
At home.
They've finally scheduled Horn Francis to play in Melbourne, so our Victorian supporters can get along, because they've hidden him away in Tassie or in Adelaide.
Yeah,
so
protected him.
about time. They all about money, the AFL. How stupid they didn't schedule it for a Saturday night at Marvel after he left.
Well, and what are they doing now?
35,000.
Sydney and Carlton. I mean, Carlton are going to be irrelevant next year.
Well, we've got one game on free to air as well.
What I'm saying, because they got Curnow, it's now an opening round game. And yeah, the Horn Francis one should have been at Marvel, so we all North fans go along, boo him once, and then forget about it.
Yeah, exactly. Then we've got West Coast round 2 away. Should win that.
That's a must
win. Round 3 we play Essendon. It's about time we beat them.
Yeah, we've got to beat them.
Carlton on Good Friday. Now this is the game that we cannot lose. It's far too long. The eyes are on us. It's our only game on free to air in the first 15 rounds. So we have to put a good showing up. If we get smashed by Carlton again, then they probably need to take the game off us, to be honest. Because it's about time we stood up. I know we do a mountain of work to build up to the day and so much great stuff off the field, but it's time our on-field represented what the day, performed for the day and the spectacle that it is.
Ever since we've had it, it's been built up and the players haven't been able to step up, have they?
Well, that's what happens with finals.
Well, last year, that's exactly what I compared it to. They see who steps up. And I can't remember who played well that game, but it wasn't many of them.
It was George, I think, and that was about it.
My man got beaten, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Well, no good.
Then we play Brisbane in Gather Round. I mean, that's good luck. Why do we always get fixtured against them? And then Richmond in round 6.
Yeah. We've got to win 5. Like, if we're going to rise up the ladder and be a proper bloody football team who's relevant, win 5. And then how stupid the AFL going to look when we're sitting in the top 4 at 5-1.
Playing Sunday 440s.
The silly thing is, if we win the first 4 in a row, confidence is a wonderful thing in sport,
especially with a young group.
Yeah, and next thing, Brisbane don't know why we're out here at Barossa with the defending champions. Blah blah blah. That'd be right for the taking, just like the Grapes.
Yeah, getting a bit ahead of ourselves here, but I think that the first 6 weeks is so important and for belief and for the direction of the footy club, because if we're sitting there 1-5 or 2-4, well, I said to you off air, it's almost out the door. Pack your bags, Al.
Clarko.
Yeah.
Well, Clarko's finally got his team, hasn't he? Everyone there has been handpicked by him.
Mick Barlow's moved into assistant coach, saying Little John in to help him with the
strategy. There's no excuses. Obviously, there's a long pre-season to go. And hopefully, if we're fit, if we've got all our best players available, there's no reason why we shouldn't be 5-1, 4-2 at worst.
Exactly. Let's have another look at these games, because obviously it's Rich saying we should be 4-2 or 5-1 when we've won about 25 games this decade thus far. But Port Adelaide round 1 at home, they're going to fall off a cliff. They've lost a lot of talent. They've got a lot of average footballers. West Coast, well, we beat them last year over there in probably the worst game of football I've watched. So we should be beating them again. We're far ahead of them in terms of list rebuild. Essendon, another one that we've got a better list than. And Merritt doesn't want to be there, and they've lost a bit. And then Richmond. Yeah. We beat them twice last year. There's no reason why they should be surging past us. They've got a lot more growing pains and getting games into kids. So those 4 in particular we should be winning. And then Carlton, we should be beating them as well.
Carlton have lost arguably their most important player. Like, key forwards don't grow on trees. And at his best, he's good. And he's always been good against us because we've played... Who did we play on him?
Aidan Bonner.
Aidan Bonner, 1 year.
And then Cow Dawson.
Yeah. Well, Toby Pink did all right on him. No, it was Aidan Core, wasn't it? Someone came... No, it was Big Griff. Big Griff did all right on him 1 year.
Yeah, he still kicked 3. Yeah. Or something like that. From memory.
Well, that was better than the 6 and 7 he was always kicking. But, they're right for the taking, Carlton.
And they've lost Silvani and De Koning as well, so they're going through a transition at the moment. And the pressure will be right on them. They'll have prime time fatigue by round 4 because that'll be the headline story every week.
Well, the fixture. Why they got so many primetime free-to-air games, Thursday, Friday nights? Why? Carlton. Did Andrew Dillon not watch the trade? Did he not know that Curnow left? And they got in just... I mean, Hayward's not a bad player, but he's not a noodle mover. And Florent couldn't get a game with the Swans.
No. Well, I think their thinking is people want to see Carlton fall. The pressure will be on Voss, so we'll put them on. But
that's not what it should be. It's only because they're a big club.
They don't play good football either.
They could do the same for Clarko.
Yeah.
And say, well, we're giving you the soft draw, which we deserve, because for how many years? Decades, we've always had a hard draw.
Even when we've been shizen.
Yeah, like look at the sub. Was it last year or the year before when we played in the first 6 rounds we played 4 finalists?
Yeah, so we played 4 of the top 4. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. And that, as we said before, that's where you lose confidence. Anyway, we'll move on from the fixture. It is I've written here the fix is in because it is a fixture.
But and you've also written, you've actually done the rundown, which will blow long-term listeners' minds because you don't usually do a whole lot of prep.
No, it's all off the hip.
But must win early. That's the big key of the fixture, I think. Big takeaway.
Yes, and all the pressure will come for Clarko, just like you said it will for Voss.
Yeah, and
they love putting, the media love shining the spotlight on someone, and there's no bigger target than Clarko.
Exactly. Wilfield as well. We love him. Obviously, he's no longer a shin boner, but I thought it was worth bringing up that he's been invited as a train on at St Kilda, and I hope he gets picked up. I love Wilfield.
Well, the Saints, yes, so do I. The Saints threw all the money around. We don't need to go over that old ground, but this is a brilliant move by them because Wilfield, they got Steele out, their ex-captain, who would have been on 800 plus, got him out and his money out, and you bring in a younger version on minimum wage. Yeah. Because they don't be paying... He'll train on. They'll pick him up at the end of January or whenever that you sign him on, and he'll just be on base rates and match payments. And he'll be there break glass in case of emergency if you want to slow a one-paced nose in the trough type midfielder. He can come in and play a role. And he's played 50 games, so you're not playing a kid. I think that's a really good move by them, and I hope he goes well, but not against us.
No, exactly. That's the same as whenever someone leaves, but particularly Will.
Yes,
like he was a proper clubman.
Yeah, proper favourite of ours.
Yeah. Right, before we wrap up, we've got to talk about the AFLW. So we've seen who our opponent will be for this coming Saturday. Melbourne. It will be. That was a really good showcase of AFLW. I enjoyed watching that. Melbourne and Adelaide. I thought it was a really hot, competitive semi-final.
Yeah, it was much better than the other one, which we'll talk on a little bit because I
didn't watch a second of it.
All right, well, I'll tell you about it. But Melbourne looked too fast for Adelaide. Like Adelaide's dangers are that they're talls and they've got some good experienced players. But Melbourne look way too fast. They turn the ball over off half back and they just run. They overlap handball. It sounds familiar to what we do. And Adelaide couldn't keep up with them and couldn't get the ball back off them enough. It did ebb and flow a bit, the match. I was hoping Adelaide would win because I think they're an easier opponent for us to beat.
100%.
But, Melbourne won't get it as much, hopefully. Like, to do a quick preview, it's going to be both fast, both transition, both turnover is king, and then get the ball to the outside and use it. I think we've got more threats than Adelaide did have to hurt Melbourne forward. Lots of different types of players forward. Lots of different ways we can get our goals. I think our midfield's better than Adelaide's. Well, it's the best in the league, so clearly it's better
Adelaide
than
or Melbourne?
Sorry. Well, I'm comparing Melbourne to what they did against Adelaide. They won't be able to do that against our midfield. And I think it's better than Melbourne's too, by the way. It's just probably Hoare is one you've got to watch.
Well, that was what really hurt Adelaide when they won momentum in that first quarter. All they did was kick it. Kate Hoare went behind the ball and they just kicked it long to her.
Yeah.
So I think our coaching group and playing group are smart enough to adapt and not let that happen for 5 or 10 minutes like Adelaide did. The other thing for Melbourne is they've got a really undersized back line. They've got one who's about 190, I can't think of her name, but outside of her, they've got a really small back line. So that's where the likes of Sheila or Randall can do some damage, King, and then get box office Bogue, blah out the back.
Yep. And I think, while we're talking about our forwards, they've got to be switched on to be defensively minded if they haven't got the ball, because Melbourne will spring and they're quick. We won't run them down from behind. We're going to have to be right on them. Put the pressure on the ball, make it a dirty ball, clean it up, go again.
Another thing with Kate Hoare, what I would do is any forward 50 for them, I'd be sending Ruby Tripodi right next to her because she's so dangerous. If you can limit her scoreboard impact, she's going to get disposals around the ground, but where she really hurts you is, like, she kicked 3 goals on the weekend. She can be their version of Jazzy Garner.
Yep.
Like what she does for us, how she can hit the scoreboard. So limit her, and that's half the game.
That's transition. She gets it as well. It's not just around the stoppage. It's because she can run. So you got to have someone who can run with her.
No, but I'm saying specifically for the stoppages, Ruby.
Yes, I
but
understand
obviously
that.
the matchup will have to change hands and that. But you're right. But she does a lot of. She's got a great forward craft at stoppages.
Yes, and she's a goal shark, isn't she? She doesn't miss that often. She'll kick the difficult goals. Anyway, enough about them. I think we win by 4 goals. I think it'll be our closest game of the year.
I think so too.
As a preliminary final should be.
It'll be interesting.
But we've got to take the most of our opportunities. We've got to win the contest. Got to win the clearances and then make the most of it, particularly with goal kicking and delivery inside 50.
It'll be interesting to see because we haven't played them this year, obviously, due to the nature of the fixture. But last year, when we faced them, we absolutely demolished them. I think it was about 60 to 70 points we ended up getting the victory by. So maybe some demons in the Melbourne side's heads.
I think we're too good, but you just got to be on for that night. You can't, we're at that time of year. It doesn't matter how long we've been undefeated. A loss just kills your season from now on. So it'd be a terrible shame if that happened, but I don't think it will.
No, neither do I. And good to see that they had to fight it right out to the end in what looked like a nice hot day over in Victoria. So hopefully the energy's zapped out of them a little bit.
Yes, and Kate, we're talking about Kate Hoare. There's no love lost between her and Libby Birch.
Absolutely.
So I was thinking if Kate Hoare goes and plays forward, which you can do, who do you put on her? I think Libby would be a perfect matchup.
Oh, I think Libby will have jobs elsewhere with the likes of Taylor Harris, Alyssa Bannon and Eden Zanker who will come back in. So I think when Hall goes forward, either a Carney or O'Shea potentially.
All right, okay. Well, I think, Ferg will get Eden Zanker. No, what's her name? Zanker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd disagree.
Who do you reckon?
I think Ferg will get Harris. She's done the job on her in the past.
Yeah, Harris is playing higher up the field. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I have.
I only watched their game on the weekend, but
the
commentators said she had been, so I don't think Ferg's going up. She's going to be the anchor. She'll play deepest.
Harris has floated between in game.
Well, when she's down there, she'll probably go to her.
Yeah.
But they've got some tools down there, and they're a fast team, so it's certainly going to test us. But 4 goals.
Yeah, I'm similarly minded. I think we'll win by 5 goals, and they'll be our toughest test.
Right, now, you didn't watch the Hawthorn game. Well, this is a bit of karma coming back to your Hockball. The Hockball, everyone's an All-Australian last year for them, right? They play us 2 weeks in a row. What do they try and do? Shut it down, turn it into a low-standard, contested, low-scoring, hang in as long as you can and try and pinch it at the end game. Well, what happened when they ran up against Carlton? I turned it on. Carlton, it was 31-0, I think, or something. The game was effectively over. So then what did Hawthorn have to do? Flick the whole game plan and try and score, which then left them open. So Carlton just kept scoring against them. So maybe not just worry about how you're going to beat us, Hawthorn, but think about your whole game style. And if you look at their games all year,
all been low scoring.
So they've obviously just flipped it, trying to be an ultra defensive, which is not what you want to go to the footy to watch.
But this is the problem.
Straight sets 2 years in a row. Couldn't happen to a nicer club.
Yeah, sucked in. This is what happens though when you have the fixture the way it's laid out, because it's a misrepresents the actual gap between the sides. Like Hawthorn were never a top 4 side. Geelong were a better side than Hawthorn.
Yeah, where'd they finish?
But they only
12
played
or
finals,
something.
yeah. So that's the problem when you're not playing everyone once. But yeah, I was very glad to see them straight sets yet again.
Yeah.
Sucked in, go take some selfies now, girls.
Yeah. Well, don't worry about it because next year, everyone plays finals.
Yeah. Let's get to the wild card. We forgot to mention it in the fixture, but
The wild card, what do you think?
I don't like it.
Do you think it's a money grab?
Oh, do you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon it absolutely is.
I don't like the fact
It shouldn't be finals. I know where you're going.
that Andrew Dillon has said that it'll count as a finals win. The wild card round is to get into finals.
Yes, it's not a final.
It's not a final. Could someone, whoever his HR or media rep
I don't
is,
think
can
he's
they
got a lot of
prompt him?
idea. He's a lawyer. He's a lawyer by trade. I don't think he's got his head around
I think he showed that.
AFL.
That he's got no effing idea.
He's probably around right there with the North lawyers.
Yeah, but I also don't like the fact that in an 18-team competition, 10 make it. I don't think more than 50% should be making it.
No. But it's a money grab, and I understand it keeps the interest, but the vagaries of it now is if you're a top 2 side and you win your first final, you're going to have 2 buys.
Yeah.
Because you have the buy when the wild card round's on, then you're going to win your first game.
That's no different to what they do
and
now.
have a buy. Well, that's a fair point. I hadn't thought that through, but I did see something on I think it was a Fox Footy website where they went back to the NRL and they had a 10-team make it, and theirs was much better because teams 1 and 2 had a bye. The others all played finals, so 3, 4, 5, 6, or like it is now, or it would have been 7. It would have been 3 and 6, 4 and 5, 7 and 10, 8 and 9. And that rewarded those 2 top teams rather than... The vagaries of it is now, we're playing Melbourne, who I think are probably the second best team in it, in a preliminary final. We should be playing probably Brisbane.
Yeah.
But Brisbane managed to beat Melbourne. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're playing the 3rd ranked team as the number 1 ranked team. Anyway, I think that was a lot better. Did I explain that well enough? So then, therefore, they're all finals, and the top 2 sides get the first week off, and then it goes back to as it will next year, where one plays the winner of 4 and 5, etc., etc.
But there was a good point made on radio during the week, I can't remember who it was, but saying that you shouldn't be rewarded for not having a plus 500 season. So if you finished with a 10 and 12 record, or a 10 and 13 record as it's now 23 games, in 10th, you shouldn't be playing a wild card game.
Well, it's very Americanised, isn't it?
It
With
is.
the basketball,
It's like
where
the NBA.
they play 76 games and then
82, but
Or is it
yeah.
82? Yeah, okay. And then they play final series. Anyway.
The grand final will be a best of 7 by the end of the decade. You watch.
Don't go there. But I think this year was an anomaly, whereas Sydney finished 10th, Bulldogs finished 9th, and they both had positive win-loss and positive percentage. And that was because we had so many shite teams in the bottom 6, us included, who didn't win enough games. Whereas if they evened it up a bit, which it should do over time, then the wooden spooner might win 6 games. So you're going to have 9 and 10 winning less than 500.
Well, I think it's just it is just a money grab. And another example of the AFL administration not listening to fans, because majority do not want it.
No.
And they've brought it in anyway.
And clearly when North make it next year, we'll be watching it. Right?
Well, that's the positive, because it gives us a better opportunity.
A better chance. So there are positives, and, I'd like them on the fixture. Let's just play everyone once. Well, I mean, that'll never happen because revenue will drop. But that's the fairest way, and then you could have 10 make it and get more games that way. But that'll never happen. They're actually expanding the season as we speak, because you've got the gather round now. You got the starting earlier because of opening round. The season's getting longer and longer,
which is a good thing. I don't mind.
Well, I don't mind it either.
More footy on the TV is good.
But the problem, and they're trying to get rid of the dead rubbers. That was his other argument. But how many dead rubbers would have got rid of this year? Like us playing Richmond, wouldn't have made any difference. Both teams were out of even the top 10 calculations.
Yeah, they could have done a top 15. It wouldn't have mattered. we were playing off a 16th.
Oh, sadly, yes.
Anyway. Right, that's about us, Chief. Well done. You've got plenty of prep from you today. Very unlike you.
I like reading all the draft stuff, and hopefully it made sense. If not, go to Cal Toomey, drops his fandom tonight. I'll give him another plug because he is the number one. He doesn't get it wrong that often.
He's not my favourite. I'm a big Shifter Sheehan man.
Oh, no, Shifters, it's almost retirement.
You're putting him out to pasture.
What's the worst North draft? I'll come up with one. Like, a lot of people are going to blame Brady. This is before Brady.
The Cam Joyce one?
I think it's before... No, it's well before Cam. I think it was... We had 6 picks under Laidley in the first 36. And I haven't done research on this, so it's all off the top of my head. But our second pick was around 17, 18, something like that. It was our second pick. I can't remember who we took first. That was probably David Trotter. I don't know that for sure. They read it out, whoever it was at the time. I think it was Chris Shaw. No one had heard of him. There was no graphic, no nothing. And they, Shifter. Even Shifter hadn't heard of him. We took him with our second pick.
Oh, no.
And I think the only one who played any decent game or any games of note was Grimer, not the
Blake.
One. Yes, who was our last pick of the 6. And I think he played 20-odd games or something. I can't remember. I've got the facts in front of me and I'm not going to look them up. But, yeah, Chris Shaw, I'm pretty sure his name was, and everyone was scratching their head.
No. The worst one I can remember was... I can't remember exactly who was in the... But it was the Mitch Hibbard one. We got Mitch Hibbard, Josh Williams.
Yeah, well, they were a bid on academy players. They're the ones that never work out, the ones we bid on.
Over that stretch, we had Dan Nielsen, Sam Durden. They weren't the same year, but that was the same sort of time.
Well, now you're in Cam Joyce territory.
Yeah, well, I've done a whole pod on Cam Joyce last year. So
Yes.
go back and have a listen to that if you want some depressive listening, because, my God.
Yes,
it's not all Brady's fault, let me tell you.
No,
He's handed the keys to a busted-up Camry with 450,000 kilometres on it. The poor bugger.
Busted up Mazda. Although they don't bust up.
No.
Not
the sponsors of the Mighty Shimbos.
No, we're plugging our own.
Yes, all right, that's about us. We'll be back to recap the draft and talk a little bit about it, and obviously who we pick in a bit more detail. But you heard it here, the Chief is predicting that we're going to take Lockie Doverston and then one of the others if they slide through with our second pick. So we'll come back in a couple of days and see how your predictions play out.
Yep, they might all change when I read Cow's Phantom.
Yes, well...
Tonight.
Well, it's Christmas Eve for you. Nobody enjoys the draft more than you do.
No, and I just think we're trading up with that mooted trade, which won't happen to trade night with Carlton, because we've got our eye on someone who we really, really like, who we don't think will get through to those second round picks.
Well, stay tuned and listen in next to hear who we get. I'm sure you'll all be across it, but we'll get your reaction and talk a little bit about who we've selected. Until next time.
Can the Kangas.
Thanks, guys. Please subscribe, like. Really helps the pod. Until next time, Gurus.
So join in the chorus and sing it one and all. Join in the chorus, North Melbourne's on the ball. Good old North Melbourne, they're champions, you'll agree. North Melbourne is the team that plays to win for you and me.